You can apply this to other blues songs. And what? I have lost all my swag. Has anybody seen my swag? 'Cause I lost it. Hey, welcome to the Uke Revolution. I'm Brooke, and you're watching a lesson for the song Merry Christmas, Baby. You're also watching a lesson for how to play a blues song in two different rhythms, two different meters or time signatures, and therefore changing the feeling of the song. So it's a little bit of a Christmas song lesson, but it's mostly like a blues lesson. I think it will be cool. Let's do it. So this song has been covered by so many artists. The key that we're using today is the same one as Chuck Berry, Etta James, Elvis, and Bruce Springsteen. And all of those cover versions have two different rhythms. There are more alternate keys listed below in the caption, if you look in the caption below, because so many artists have covered this song. And since there's only 4 chords and it's a pretty simple song, it's fairly easy to just swap out the corresponding chords if you want to play it in a different key. So those are listed below. They're also listed on the song sheet, as is everything you're going to see on the screen today, plus probably a couple other little notes that weren't super pertinent for the lesson. They're on the PDF for this song. You can access that PDF by joining as a monthly member on Ko-fi. The link is in the caption for that. There's also a shop there with some freebies in it. So you've had a chance for a second to look at these chords. We have G, C, F, and D. Any of these, especially the G, C, and D, you can change to a 7, so G7, C7, D7, to make it sound even bluesier. And for this song, we have a part A and a part B. So the part A is the Merry Christmas, baby, sure to treat me right. It's the main part of the song. The little bridge down here, that's the Santa came down the chimney at 3:30. And it's very simple. It's just one chord. So for part A, we're moving back and forth between 2 chords in every bar almost the whole time. So between all these forward slashes is 4 beats. So we have G for 2, C for 2, for example, if we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 1, 2, 3, 4 is the basic foundation for both of the rhythm styles that we're going to look at in this lesson. But if we just play with a simple down strum, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to play G and C for 4 bars. That's that first line. Then we're going to switch to C and F. C and F for 2 bars, and then we're back to G and C. G and C for 2 bars. Then we're actually going to hang on the D for 4 beats, the C for 4 beats, and then we're heading back to this G and C thing. So this is like a little shuffle. G, G, C, C. So if we play with just a down strum at a moderate pace, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, C, G, C, G, C, G, C, second line, C, F, C, F, G, C, G, C, D, C, G, C, G, C. That's most of the song. Anytime you want to toss this bridge in, Santa came down the chimney at 3:30. We're going to play G for 4 bars. And actually, when you play this part, you're probably just stopping on each chord. So you're just going to play G, stop, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4. Just one down strum for G at the beginning of each bar, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, and then we're back to part A. So if we play with just that simple down strum and the lyrics for the first part A, just to give you a lyric example before we get into the whole rhythm thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Merry Christmas, baby, you sure to treat me nice. Merry Christmas, baby, You sure do treat me nice. Bought me a diamond ring for Christmas. I feel like I'm in paradise. So you might notice on the second line here that I didn't really phrase the lyrics under the chords the way they're written here. So this is one of these songs, like a lot of blues, soul, R&B songs. Each individual singer takes a lot of freedom with the phrasing of the lyrics. The way that it's organized on the screen today is kind of a landmark. One of the singers is probably doing it exactly like this. You may do it differently. You may phrase it differently. But the important thing is to keep the chords in the rhythm that they're meant to be in and take freedom with the lyric phrasing. You can move the lyrics and the melody around as much as you want, but be steady with the chord placement. Okay, let's talk about the two different rhythms. So one of them is called 4/4 and one of them is called 12/8. Up here next to strum rhythm, it says 4/4 or 12/8. The important number for us with this kind of sheet music and the arrangement that we're doing today is the first of those two numbers. So the 4 in 4/4, the first 4, and the 12 and 12/8. The second number in that kind of notation is more important for people who are using standard sheet music that has a treble and bass clef with all of the staff and the lines and you put the little notes on it. That tends to be more important if you're using that kind of sheet music. We're not using that today. What's important for us is the 4 and the 12, because the 4 means there's 4 beats in a bar, and the 12 means there's 12 beats in a bar. And the thing is, because 12 is divisible by 4, we can think of both of these rhythms as being based on 4 beats in a measure. So if you look at the notation here over the strum patterns, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This is 4/4. And then if you look down here, we have 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. This is 12/8. The little notes that are after it, don't worry about them right now. I'll show you the whole thing in a minute. 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. This is based on 4, but if you count all of those parts, 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a, it's 12. That's 12 beats, right? That's 12 parts inside of that bar. I know it's a little bit confusing because it's like, well, why don't you just call this 4 something else? It's just the way that these standard notations are 4/4, 12/8. That's how we do. So like, I know it's a little bit confusing, but I'm trying to show you how it matches. This notation matches the name of the time signature, the name of the rhythm or the meter. So I'll show you the note real quick. I just put as a little note for the 4/4, this style will be more upbeat than the 12/8. And down here next to the 12/8, slower tempo than 4/4. So if you want to do a more like kind of sexy, sensual ballad style of this song, for example, Christina Aguilera or Etta James, they use a 12/8 rhythm. If you want to do something more upbeat, like Bruce Springsteen or Otis Redding, you're going to use 4/4. So the one that we just did, the really basic one, is a 4/4 strum pattern with a down strum on every beat. Down, 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 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'll do is I'll go over these other 4/4 strum patterns, and then I'll switch and I'll go over the 12/8 ones. And eventually I'll play them back to back so you can really hear the difference. So let me see, we got down, 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 down. Okay, the next one is a nice little shuffle thing. This is great for those changes that happen every 2 beats. Down, up, chunk up, down, up, chunk up, down, up, chunk up, down, up, chunk up. So with that G and C, that comes in part A quite a lot. Down, up, chunk up, down, up, chunk up, G, C. Down, up, chunk up, 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 down, up, chunk up. Merry Christmas, baby, the shadow treat me right. And usually I'm moving my hand to make the next chord on the up that comes on the and of 2 or the and of 4. Down, up, chunk up, 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 down, up, chunk, switch, 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 switch. And the last one here is a chunky island strum, and I have a little note that says for bars with no chord changes. So that would be very infrequently. It's just that one time near the end of part A. That one time near the end of part A, but you can use it. Down, chunk up, chunk up, down, chunk up, chunk up. So let me talk about these 12/8 ones. And we have to kind of switch gears and think about this rhythm instead. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So this first one is down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk. That'll sound like this. Same thing with that G and C. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a G, C, G. Merry Christmas, baby. You sure do treat me right. And the same thing like we did up here, we're switching to the next chord a little bit early. On the up, that comes on the of 2. 2 and that up. And the one that's on the 4 and that up. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and. The second one for 12/8 is a little bit more rhythmic, which means it's harder to play and sing at the same time. Down, chunk, up, down, chunk. Okay. And this one is dud chunk up. Down, chunk, up, down, chunk, up, down, chunk, up, down, chunk. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Down, chunk, up, 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 down, chunk. Merry Christmas, baby. You sure do treat me right. Merry Christmas, baby. And I'm like struggling right now to maintain this rhythm and sing at the same time. So it may be this one's better if you're accompanying somebody or a challenge for yourself. I'm going to play the whole thing because this is a pretty short song. I'm going to play the whole thing back to back. I'm going to use the down, up, chunk up for 4/4. For 12/8, I'm going to use the down, up, chunk, so I can show you how they come across really differently. And if you're still with me, you're finding this lesson interesting or helpful, don't forget to click like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you can stay abreast of everything that happens here at the Uke Revolution. Thanks. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. So we're just going to play GC, that little switch, as an intro. It's on the song sheet. I didn't put it on the screen. On that D and C, I'll probably do the island strum. But the rest of the time, we're doing that down, up, chunk up, down, up, chunk up. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. G, C. Merry Christmas, baby. You sure do treat me nice. Merry Christmas, baby. Sure do treat me nice. Buy me a diamond ring for Christmas. Feel like I'm in paradise. I feel mighty fire. Got music on the radio. I'm feeling mighty fine, girl. Got my music on my radio. Ooh, almost missed the G. Okay, here's the D. I feel like I'm gonna kiss you, standing beneath the mistletoe. Here's part B. Santa came down the chimney about 3:30, G7. Left all them good old press for my baby and me. I said, Merry Christmas, baby. You sure do treat me nice. baby, sure do treat me nice. So we'll just end on this part A. Buy me a diamond ring for Christmas, feel like I'm in paradise. On the G. Cha cha cha. A. Okay, so now we're going to play the same song, but we're going to switch up the rhythm and we're going to do the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play both of the 12/8 ones. I'll play the first part A, down, up, chunk, up, down, and then part A down here I'll do the dud chunk one. The dud chunk, down, up, chunk, up, down, chunk. 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and Merry Christmas, baby. You sure do treat me nice. Merry Christmas, baby. You sure do treat me nice. Buy me a diamond ring for Christmas. Now I feel like I'm in paradise. Here comes down, up, down, chunk. Down, up, down. I feel mighty fire. Got my music, the radio. I feel mighty fire. Got my music on my radio. Feel like I'm gonna kiss you, Santa beneath mistletoe. Santa came down the chimney about 3:30. Left all them good presents for my baby and me. I said, Merry Christmas, baby. You sure do treat me nice. Merry Christmas, baby. You sure do treat me nice. Yeah, I'm getting into it now. It's getting easier. Buy me a diamond ring for Christmas. Now I feel like I'm in paradise. As soon as I said that, I messed up. Dun, 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 dun. Hope you enjoyed that lesson, everybody. I hope it opened your eyes to the intricacies of blues rhythm. I'll see you next time with another lesson. Happy strumming and stay funky. Ho, ho, ho. Season's greetings and all that stuff. Bye, everybody.